mind becomes its slave and fool. Haunts even the slightest nerve of a junkie. And when you can't condition and regulate, changing is the rattle of breath. Emerging is the cold, sickly, cold skin. Unveiled is sickness, a gateway to tragedy. The folly of acting blindly. I implore you foresight. Why, with its taste, it engulfs the thoughts of queries, dangerously attacks, manipulates, and sickens the mind. With a new true mind, I perceive, and truly will live to implore its zest. It started with a heat just to calm the storm. Now you can't feel peace unless your blood gets warm. Little lie in a bottle, little truth in a spoon. Now devils is in your vein singing out the truth. Your mama saw the change, but she ain't know how to fight it. Used to be her baby, now was silent and violent. Heads opposite, eyes opposite. Your brother locked the door and your girl didn't call. I implore you, drug abuse. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that piece. Let's have Nambuya Joy. The timing remains the same.
Good morning to everyone. My name is Nambuya Joy from Xavier High School, Chiboga. I'm here to recite a poem entitled to Kick Out Drug. Oh, the misuse of drug has led to the rise of irresponsible youth in the nation. They include
Thank you very much for that piece. We are going to have Kaburura Jr. Timing remains the same.
Tight and tight, turning day into endless night. Families weep and hearts grow sore as lives are shattered on the floor. But in darkness, hope can gleam, a chance to heal, to start again. Reach out your hand, break free from the gloom, and find the strength to chase away doom. Remember, help is just a call to lift you up, to heal, to fall into a life where love can grow and free the spirit from the shadow. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Junior. Let us have Nabasa Rebecca.
Hello. My name is Navasa Rebecca from Bijara S. Wonder and seem dim and seem dim. Seeking light becomes hard. Light becomes hard. For curving on the door plays its part. Let the spirit leap. Break free from the chains that bond. Reach for life that is unbound. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your piece. Let us have Toriasima Ellis.
My name is Ntale Ellis from Ntale School. So, I hear about cocaine that takes the pain away, or ecstasy and heroin, which makes you laugh and play. I come to ask, what do you get from all the pain? The struggle you go through to lose your sanity, it completely makes no sense. I try to understand why the youth are so dense sometimes. They say it's a solution, but it doesn't make it to the next day. There is so much destruction in their minds, I can say, just because they want to have a sniff. Today, I come to realize that it's not by their own choice sometimes, because their friends tag along and have a word to say. Our peers affect us sometimes because we think it will make us slay.
Right. Thank you very much for your piece. Before we continue, we would request for maximum silence from the audience. It's a humble request. Let us have Wesonga Melchizedek to deliver for us his piece.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Wasunga Melchizedek from St. Andrews. I bring to you a poem entitled Youth Arise. And I begin in a count of 1, 2, 3. In schools and homes where young hearts beat, a danger hides, not bitter, not sweet. Drugs whisper lies, a tempting call. But youth, we have the strength to stand tall. We will talk to friends with clear words. Drugs bring you down, they cause such fear. We will show them the fun in games we play, keeping bad habits away from us. Be strong, be good, let kindness bloom. Chase away the darkness, banish bloom. If someone is lost, lend them a hand. Together we'll make a better land. Let's shout it loud for everyone to hear. Healthy, happy, year by year. Youth, arise now with spirits bright and fill our world with truth and light. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Melchizedek, for that piece. We are going to have the very last poet to deliver for us his piece, and that is none other than Amwesiga Baron.
My name is Amwesiga Baron, Ganwa High School. I begin. No wonder the engagement. No wonder the urgement. Alcohol continues to leave the youth in and lack a delight. Exposure to them has left their lives a disgust. With every dose, a soul is sold. Drugs all everywhere, in towns, in cities, in villages, chasing dreams now, a gone case. But each escape, a deeper fall, a prison built without a wall. Families torn, the future dimmed, lives once bright, now slimmed. The cost of the choices, steep and steep. Price of the high for the hearts to keep. Let us remain with hope and a skipper with a clinker small. In unity we stand to break the ridges of the feeling drug. Together we can rise again. Thank you.
Give our poets a bigger round of applause for that. We highly appreciate those wonderful messages, those pieces. Please keep it up. And even after break tea, when we're going for our semi-finals, please do the needful. Poets, we know the task for the semi-finals, so start preparing. We are only going to proceed with 5 poets from the 7 who have delivered their pieces. And we are going to be eliminating 2. That is how generous we are. We want to give everyone a fighting spirit to win. So, at this point, we are going to go to the public speaking category. And this is their task for semifinals, for the quarterfinals, sorry. public speakers, please get closer, because you're only going to have 5 minutes, because this was a prepared round. Oh, yeah. Quarterfinals. An eulogy speech. You lost your friend, Churchill, a day to their birthday. However, you believe that the biggest blame is on the failed policies, inasmuch as he too used to abuse the drugs. Your task: deliver an eulogy speech titled War on Drugs. Mourn the policy's failures with dark humor. What are we going to be looking at? This type of speech is given in remembrance or celebration of the people you have lost in your life. So one, it is possible for you to give it at his burial or at probably a reunion to celebrate his death after a few years of his death. That is up to you to decide where you are going to be delivering this speech. What is the task clearly telling you? One, you have to mourn the policy's failures with dark humor. Let me hope we all know what dark humor is, or what humor is. Now, for the out rounds, as judges, we are going to be very, very strict. What does that mean? If you don't give us dark humor, if it is not a speech celebrating the loss of your friend, it's going to be very hard for you to break. Remember, we are only breaking 6 people to the semifinals. That simply means we are going to eliminate 3 people. The order of speech. 1, Ashaba Vivian, Chisubi Mapera, SS. Are you here? Where's Ashaba Vivian? Wow. I thought we agreed that everyone is supposed to be inside here for the quarterfinals. Nanyondo Rona, Chisubi Mapera SS. Are you here? Right. Is Ashaba Vivian here? Is Nanyondo Rona here? Is Atugonza Elizabeth Blessed here? Is Kabandama Aida here? Do we have Nimurunji Roni Barak? Do we have Muchurezi Edwin? Do we have Beyuga Anslem? And do we have Doris Amoti? Where is Doris Amoti? Wow. Where is Doris Amoti? Now, we have our task. We're going to be beginning a minute from now. You will have 3 minutes. For the semifinals, we're most likely going to give you 4 minutes. For the quarterfinals, you have 3 minutes. But for the finals, you'll have your time. Don't worry. So we'll have 3 minutes. When you get on stage, the first thing you want to do is to please tell us your name clearly. Please tell us your name. You didn't hear your name? Oh. After Muchurezi Edwin, there's Arinda Miriam. So after Edwin, there's Miriam. Sorry for that. So when you come on stage, please tell us your name for purposes of record. It is very important. Then tell us your school. I hope we are all proud of our schools. Then after that, you can start. You can either start by telling us the title of your poem or whatsoever, but you have the ability to start. That being said, I'll give us the same instructions. At a point that it is off, you'll just slide it to the right. And then after you're done delivering your poem, please make sure you leave it like this. Is that okay? Right, let us have Ashaba Vivian, Chisubi Mapera Secondary School.
My name is Ashaba Vivian from Chisubi Mapera Senior Secondary School. Religious leaders, the briefed family, fellow mourners, ladies and gentlemen. It is with deep sorrow that I share the passing of my friend Churchill. He was kind, thoughtful, and full of potential. A light dimmed far too soon. We remember Churchill not for his struggles, but his loyalty and love he gave freely to those around him. After decades of violent efforts and lives impacted, our beloved policy has succumbed to its inevitable fate failure, like inevitable implementations of policies failed by the government, lack of distinction between possession and trafficking, leading to confusion and consistent application of the law. Criminalization of drug usage, billions spent on enforcement yet demand persists. Intended corruption and suffering. We remember Churchill, who fell victim to the very substances. This war aimed to vanquish his struggle services as a poignant reminder to our policies' shortcoming, like cocaine and marijuana. Let's reflect what worked and what didn't. Perhaps it's time for new approaches, ones prioritizing compassion, treatment, and rehabilitations. May your failures on failed policies inform wider policies, and may Churchill's memory inspire change to the rest. May his story stir compassion, challenge broken systems, and help guide others towards healing from drug abuse. Rest in peace, my dear friend Churchill.
Thank you very much, Vivian. Let us have Nanyondo Rona from Chisubi Mapera Secondary School.
My name is Nanyondorna from Tsumapara Senior Secondary School. When a journey begins, not even a traveler can exactly construct what lies in fold. The brave family, religious leaders, political leaders, friends, and fellow mourners. A good morning. My name is Nanyondorona, a workmate of Churchill. Today we gather to celebrate the life of Churchill. Churchill was a friend, brother, son, mentor, and a neighbor to many of us. He had a kind soul, a generous spirit, and a beacon of hope. His compassion brought joy to all who knew them. It was the 17th of April, a day before his birthday, when I received a phone call from the police station. Churchill was arrested for possession of drugs. And hours later that day, Churchill had passed on. Churchill passed on because of the harsh punishments that were administered to him at the police station. This is due to the failed drug enforcement policies. This lack of distinction between possession and trafficking, the Narcotic Drug and Physiotrophic Substance Act of 2016 doesn't provide a clear distinction between possession and trafficking offenses, leading to confusion and inconsistent application of the law. What does this have an impact? This impacts, like people are charged by possession other than use. This leads to the harsh penalties, like those that were administered to Churchill. The ineffective implementation, judicial fear of appeals against decisions leading to lenient sentences for traffickers, and the consequences of this, fines of traffickers are minimal and seen as business. The fines are traffickers and minimal and seen as business. Churchill was not a drug addict. He was not a drug trafficker. But since he had a drug that was planted in his bag, they arrested him for drug possession and they administered very harsh punishments to him, leading to his death. Uganda drug enforcement policies have been criticized for prioritizing punishment over public health and human rights, leading to ineffective and inhuman outcomes. Churchill was a very good person and died of a very, very innocent and misunderstanding. My fellow mourners, from dust we came and from dust we shall become. May his soul rest in peace.
Thank you very much for that speech. Let us have Atugonza Elizabeth Blessed from Premier Secondary School.
Good morning to you all. My name is Atugonza Elizabeth Blessed from Premier Secondary School. Once in my life, I had a person that prioritized me, a person that treated me different, a person that had my presence, a person that treated me so different from the rest. It hurts so much that I'm talking in the past, because all I do nowadays is hear his voice in the blowing winds. Churchill was arrested after being proven guilty of drug abuse, the courts of law. He was in prison. When he was in prison, we thought he would come back when he has reformed, and actually he would maybe come back and start a new journey of his life. But unfortunately, when Churchill was in jail, actually behind the cells, he still accessed these drugs. How? He still corrupted these officers whereby they made and actually ensured that these drugs were accessible for him even in the cells just because they were money oriented. They neglected the fact that he was being punished and they prioritized money instead of implementing the policy that was supposed to help him out. Churchill suffered a disease that caused his untimely death a day to his birthday. Look, who of you would wish to die without celebrating the other year? Of course, no one. Churchill died without even knowing that the reason as why he's dead is because of this drug. And that's why I come out today and say imprisonment is not a solution, because even when he was in prison, he still accessed this drug that caused his death. And right now, I suggest that rehabilitation would have been the best solution for this. Because we look at if had he been rehabilitated and sensitized and actually given support, he would have maybe withdrawn these thoughts of thinking that he couldn't live without this drug, he couldn't stay without this drug. And actually, because that wasn't put in action, Churchill is now one of the past. His name is now written in among the dead. Actually, all we do nowadays is actually remember the memories we shared with him. Look, audience that has gathered today at Churchill's funeral, let us work together, actually start up a war on drugs, bring drug abuse to an end. And actually, let's not treasure these incognitive policies, because we look at them being the reason behind his death. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Elizabeth, for that speech. I'm just requesting people behind there, around the pillars. If you want to continue talking, please move out. Kindly. You can move out and talk from outside and converse from outside. Have some level of respect and give it to the people that are delivering the speeches. Okay? Have some dignity. Be embarrassed of yourself. Let us have Ida to give us her speech.
My name is Aida Kabundama from St. Teresa Girls SS. The bereaved family, religious leaders, political leaders, my fellow mourners. We are gathered here one day to Churchill's birthday, not to celebrate his life, but to bury what's left of him. And what's left, truthfully, grief, anger, bitter taste of a war we never won. Churchill was more than his struggle. He was laughter. He was one kind of person who would enter a classroom and people would feel they belonged, yet he himself also never belonged. He was smart, stubborn, and underneath all that mischief, deeply sensitive. But drugs didn't care. The policies that were supposed to care about him and protect him didn't care. They didn't care about his dreams. They didn't care about his mother's dreams. They didn't care that tomorrow is his birthday. To be honest, they didn't care about his well-being. The war on drugs had loud and funded, overbribed war we were told would save us. The war that prints posters and policies but refuses to train the pot-bellied men along roads. calling themselves traffic officers, but haven't done their work. They turn into corrupt men, and yet drugs are being brought in after their corruption. The one where dealers get arrested on Monday and get back on Tuesday. Yeah, until it eats at someone we love. And how here we are, mourning a young man who should have been cutting cake tomorrow and now lying in a coffin today. Churchill.
Friends, family, and community citizens, we gather here today to mourn the passing of our dear friend Churchill, who fell a victim of the very policies meant to save him. As we reflect on his life, Churchill has been a friend who has always been there in every situation, despite the fact that he was on the disturbance of drugs. Churchill has been a person who has been loving his family. Churchill has been a person who has been caring for everyone, especially his friends. Churchill has been a person who has been attached to his family so much, to an extent that when he was speaking, he would always refer to his family in a very good part of it. As he used to quote, "Enjoy your life because it is short and precious." We have been preparing for the late birthday just a day before he breathed his last. We wanted it to become a tremendous one because it was the day when we are preparing something big for him as our very good friend. But because of the failed policies, in our own country, they do not consider taking people for rehabilitation, for counseling. Why should you arrest someone? Our own people. Let us consider taking people for rehabilitation, not just arresting them because they are drug addicts, because of the policy. Let us look at the negative sides. Let us look at how it is going to affect them. All this policy has failed because of the mechanisms that can. This policy has failed because our own government has not brought up the mechanisms that can bring back one to normal. And this has become an elephant in the room in every sector of the country. What do we need to do so as to limit such scenarios from happening? We need to take people for rehabilitation lessons. Even before arresting them, we need to guide and counsel people. And my friend Churchill, we wish you a safe journey, and we are going to find ourselves there. Rest in peace.
All right. Thank you very much, Nimurunji, Ronnie Berg. As Muchurezi Edwin makes his way to stage, we are considering to have the primary category finals before our break tea. In case we have time, before our break tea, we are going to have the finals for the primary category. So I would request all the three participants for primary category to be preparing for the finals task, and they'll be using 4 minutes of their speech. I repeat, The primary category should be preparing for their speeches, and they will use 4 minutes of their speech. Over to you, Edwin, whenever you're ready. Please don't forget to mention your name and your school. I'll request the audience to give us maximum attention as we move forward. Thank you very much.
My name is Ntale Edwin from Ngano High School. I begin my speech in 3, 2, 1. In this casket, my friend Churchill lies. Churchill, I'm here to say and to pay my last respect. Churchill, we are born to heal the church, but you have been healed by the church of drugs. Churchill, I remember that aroma that always came out of your mouth after using the pill. Memories of music that you had. You were a spab. We believed you are the next Michael Jackson. But I'll miss your songs because you are now already in heaven singing for Jesus Christ. Churchill, you are here on the casket, but who is to blame? Our failed policies. Our failed policies. If our policies were working, you would be still here. So, what do you think is the result? Smuggling. Drugs entering our country, even without being traced. You use them and end up dying. Churchill isn't the only one, but it's just one of the many. Do you know what the drug manufacturers are doing? They are changing formulas, adding toxic chemicals to drugs, and making them highly addictive. Therefore, after all their disguise, they are here for our good. But these drugs are the machines that eliminate our lives. But we have witnessed challenges, and I'm here to provide solutions. Fair Mooners, look, what we must do in order to combat these drugs. First, our government must do its role. It's high time the government became strict with managing drug abuse in our country. And another thing, I emphasize sensitization. Let's sensitize all the people about the dangers of drugs. With this, we'll change the perception of people about drugs. Did you know that the painkiller used every day to relieve headache is just a machine pays your life? And if you continue, you will be next to a casket just like Churchill. In conclusion, my friend Churchill, rest in peace.
All right, thank you very much, Muchirezi Edwin. I would request for those of us that are coming in after their debate round, if you cannot keep quiet, please move out. If you cannot keep quiet, please move out. Those of us that are from their debate rounds, if you cannot keep quiet, move out, continue having the discussions on how the round was. Do not enter here and start making noise. Thank you very much, Edwin. We're going to have Arinda Miriam to give us her speech.
Hello, everyone. My name is Arinda Miriam from Bijera Secondary School. And I'm going to give a speech about eulogy for the war on drugs. Ladies and gentlemen, mourners, and mildly paranoid bystanders, today we are not here to celebrate, but to bury a tragedy, not a person, but a policy, a grand, brandling, framing dumpster of fire of a policy known lovingly, ironically, as the war on drugs. We have fought substances with tanks. We tried to cure addiction with prison time. With some low thought of how best we can help someone with the eye, with a needle in their arm, was just to handcuff them. Genius. I didn't like to take a moment to remember my friend Churchill. He would have been 32 tomorrow. We were going to have a party. Cake, balloon, a picnic filled with gummy worms and irony. But Churchill didn't make it. Not because he never wanted to get clean, he did. Not because he didn't try, he did. But when he reached out for help, only he got was a cold metal door and a court date. He died with a public defender, not a counselor, a mugshot, not a medical chart. And yes, I am tired. Tired of the lies, the propaganda, the wasted potential. The war on drugs wasn't a war on substances. It was a war on people, poor people, black people, addicted people, people like Churchill. And yet, somehow, weed is legal, but Churchill is still dead. So to the war on drugs, I say, may you rest in peace. You overfunded, misguided, Nixon-born monstrosity. You will be studied into the classroom entitled, "What the hell were they thinking?"
All right, thank you very much, Miriam, for that speech. Judges, you are making noise. You are making noise for me. If you want to continue having your discussions, please move outside and have them on how the round has gone. Have you heard judges? Then the students that are coming in, that are from the debate round, once you come in, please settle down and keep quiet. If you want to have further discussions on how the round went, please, outside is very open. And you can shout as long as you want, but don't do it inside here. Let us have Anselm with his speech.
My name is Bayunga Anthem from Ismo Progressive School, found in Mitoma district. My friend's life was a fleeting whisper, silenced by the very substances we tried to control. Their memory haunts me, a bittersweet reminder of what it could have been. On their birthday, I told tossed their memory, and countless others lost in this futile war. Churchill, my friend, my brother, my one and only Churchill. I remember you and I used to be laughing together. But now that we can't do that anymore. Churchill, the cocaine you smoked snatched you away from me forever, Churchill. Churchill, I remember the first time you smoked that cocaine. I was with you with the other peers, but I decided not to do so, and I told you that you should stop doing the drugs and bury the habit, but you couldn't accept. The war on drugs has been a juggernaut of pain, crushing lives and communities under its weight. We have traded hope for handcuffs, and our youth are the ones who are paying the price with their futures. It's time to shatter the chains of all this failed policy, and we forge a new path. It's time to close the curtains of all this tragedy. Churchill, my friend, you abused the drugs, and now you are no more. You are gone forever. The war on drugs is mainly brought about by those corrupt officials who allow the drugs to be supplied into our country, and that's very devastating to all of us. Drug abuse leads to high crime rates, which creates insecurity to all of us, because the addicts can anytime kill you and you become no more like Churchill. So, we need to educate and make the people in the community aware of the drug abuse. We need to tell them how best they cannot abuse these drugs. Churchill, I will live to remember you. I will celebrate your life. Rest in peace, my dear friend Churchill.
All right, thank you very much. We are remaining with one speech, and I'm requesting those of us that are entering, please keep quiet. If you want to have conversations about how the debate round went, please move out. Please, it's my humble request. Let us have Doris Amoti to give us her speech.
My name is Ishemeliro Doris Amoti from Baranyanji Girls Senior Secondary School. Churchill once told me that if you cry a lot on my burial, then my ghost will haunt you. So please, let us not cry. Mama, Mother, please, rub off those tears. For those that do not know me, my name is Ishemeliro Doris Amoti, a very close friend to this man you're seeing here, lifeless and helpless. But that's not the reason as to why I am here. The reason as to why I am here is to read to you a note that he left behind and that he requested me to read to you today, a day that was supposed to be his birthday. It says, "Village mates, do not cry. I am so sorry for not telling you about my dismiss. Mother, Father, I know that you're hurt, but I could not take it anymore. There was no place for me to hide away from the police since they came to know about my drug addiction. and yet I was not ready to spend my life in jail. Doris, please do not let them blame me. Tell them what killed me. Love, Churchill. Churchill did not die of the alcohol he used to take. No, that just finished the job. Don't we all take alcohol? Have we died? We are still alive. Churchill died of a system that in his country, a failed policy. He died of a system that caused drug addiction a crime. He died of a system that caused depression a spiritual attack. Churchill deserved better in life. He deserved a country that understood that mental illness is not witchcraft, that addiction is not a crime, and that silence kills. He asked for help. What did we give him? A prison cell? Angry police officers that need bribes to get him out? That is what we gave him. Instead of taking him to the rehabilitation center, instead of counseling him, instead of guiding him so that he could not end up like this. Let's put a war on drugs. Village mates, it's killing people. But we are not going to allow anyone else to die just like Churchill. And to Churchill, my friend, I am so sorry that I could not help you. But not another woman, not another man, not another youth should die like you. I promise to preach the gospel. I promise to preach about the war on drugs. And may your soul rest in eternal peace. Thank you for listening.
All right, thank you very much for those lovely speeches. We are going to take a break and allow for the debate category to be able to give us their announcements. Thereafter, we are going to have the finals for public speaking, junior category. Please be aware of that. And then after that also, we'll give a chance to listen to the poems of the junior category as well. So prepare accordingly. Thank you very much. We'll be back after the debate announcements.
Revival TV, amagarum wijwire.
Mwana wanje oyina itaka ryawe noyenda kuruguza obuzirwo warugura narukagura itaka ryawe bongo bwa hatu noyenda kuruguza aba Amity Realtors Limited beja kucungura nitugura itaka erhangu erya famu entoche ebshayi amaju naganda goine gona nituguza itaka kutandikira proti ya futu 50 arigana okugarra ruguru tahiraba Amity Realtors Limited abara kwere kugura no kuguza itaka omurumurenge.
So you have between 15 minutes between now and the next round to ask for results or reasons why you took an L in that round from the chair in that room. So chairs in rooms, prepare to explain the calls that transpired within the previous out round. Semi-final results, partial semi-final results from the junior track. In room number 1, we had Black Widow proposing and the Hulk in the opposition. Rin was the chair. The team that will be advancing to the semi-finals is Team Black Widow. In room number 2, where we had Superman proposing and Doctor Strange in the opposition, Henry was the chair. The team that's advancing is Team Superman. Semi-finals for the junior track would be taking place after the octo-finals for the senior track. Results from the partial octos in the seniors. In room number 10, where we had Russia in the proposition, Japan in the opposition, the chair was Albert, Charity was on the panel. On a unanimous decision, the team that would be advancing is Team Japan. In room number 5, where we had Qatar in proposition, Finland in the opposition. Ivari Rita was the chair. Arnold was on the panel. On a unanimous decision, Finland would be proceeding. Finland is here. You didn't clap. Okay, in room number 8, Sweden was proposing, Italy in the opposition. The chair was Trinity. I know Mugisha Arnold on the panel, Matthias as well on the panel. On a unanimous decision, Sweden will be proceeding. In room number 4, Chad was in the proposition, Canada was in the opposition. On a unanimous decision, the chair was Melody, the panelist was Cicero, Joy was also in the panel. Canada will be proceeding. In room number, is Canada here? Team Canada, you here? In room number 6, where we had Spain in proposition, Australia in the opposition, the chair was Reagan, Mark on the panel, Elizabeth on the panel. On a unanimous decision, Spain will be proceeding. In room number 7, we had Taiwan in the proposition, China in the opposition. The chair was Ida. On the panel, there was Barack and Herbert. On a 2-1 split, the team that is proceeding is Team China. In room number 3, France was in proposition, Mexico in the opposition. Davis was the chair. Wellborn and Rona were in the panel. On a unanimous decision, Mexico will be proceeding. In room number 9, where we had Greece proposing, Portugal in the opposition. The chair was Jonathan. Solomon and Vincent were on the panel. On a unanimous decision, Portugal will be proceeding. The draws for the Octo finals read as such. Team Lesotho. Are you here? Lesotho? Yes, you need it.
Kusikia shahemwe. Kusikia shahemwe.
Revival TV.
In room number 2, Tanzania will be proposing, Mexico in the opposition. In room number 8, China will be proposing, Croatia will be in the opposition. In room number 5, Spain will be proposing, Kenya will be in the opposition. In room number 3, Nigeria will be proposing, Canada in the opposition. In room number 6, Germany will be proposing, Sweden in the opposition. In room number 7, India will be proposing, Finland in the opposition. In room 1, Japan will be proposing, Rwanda in the opposition. The same rules do apply. No gadgets at this point, no patrons at this point. Please, teams, move to your room. Portugal proposing, Peru in the opposition. I'll read the info slide and the motion, and prep time will begin. The info slide states, you can confirm your draws. We may change the motion. Confirm the draws, what room you're in, and then we'll be having the motion announcement in 2 minutes.
Revival TV, amagarum wijwire.
Mwana wanje oyina itaka ryawe noyenda kuruguza obuzirwo warugura narukagura itaka ryawe kongo bwa hatu noyenda kuruguza aba Amity Realtors Limited beja kucungura nitugura itaka rihangu erya famu entoche ebishayi amaju naganda goyinegona nituguza itaka kutandikira proti ya futu 50 arigana okugarrerugura tahiraba Amity Realtors Limited abarakwere kugura no kuguza itaka omurumurenge rwizoba yona bashanja Chosiga House Makanisi Street, room number 5 na rotere note mshanje 5 abrinamnana 98 nan note mshanju ataranamka.
Utavirwa Revival TV.
Mutahi wanje tandika izoba uryo mishoga mukama ruhanga wawe twegiteho burukasheshe kwihashahi 12 kusya shahemwe ahabwe ntebekana sentanda yizoba
utakayi kirize kintu chona okuremesa nubu wakushabishara ngufu abo kwa ruhanga tayine aharu kunage eshara zitu kakasaso
garuko mamani nebyahandikiwe okuramya okurugariza mamani nekigambo cyo bunaku kwera izoba ryone
noreba Yesu Kristo kuyabya inabejibe yabagambire kigambo munjiri ya mateshora ya mukaga omushorongo ogwashatunesha tunagira ati konka mubanza mushero bukamabwe no kushira kwe rere bindi byona byabongerwaho
uryo mu rugendo narishi notebekanisa ahabwizoba ryawe reko moyo warahanga akwebembere
utakagizire cyono cyowaza gukora omukasheshe wimukoto mu kitanda ushemere kusimba amajugawe okashaba mukama
entanda yizoba burkasheshe kujoro kubanza kuserwa katano nanyu mutebekanisa rutare
Revival TV amagarum wijwire. Utavirwa Revival TV.
Ndafita sente omu itaka noyenda kudevelopinga itaka ryawe nokunda kuhurikiza ebintu birungi ebikwataine n'amataka the Land Talk Show na program yawe
Yagita hakiganiro cy'abakugombya amataka abino bukugomu kutungura mwanya abakugomu kwetegereze by'amataka naba batungira itako mu rundu rwabo go kubanza
amataka gaga kubagari y'amahanda kuruga yaba komasho area
Land Talk aho bwenge buri kubuganira no mu gishago bunaku
byona nibuzakwana bukishibwaho kamwine Rebecca
ababanira CCTV cameras abari kushanga mu rurembo rwambarira bagarukana insurance ababanira ubwa hati bine card cameras ezikora ikirone y'ihangwe kandi zikureba uburingo bwa meters 20 nankaga alarm cameras smart hybrid 5 megapixels cameras PTZ cameras bine DVR na NVR eza 2 megapixels na 5 megapixels hard disks bine na za cameras zindi ziri kuzabikondo bya sora nebyo amashanyarazi kandi cyo mutano kamera zikuzabikondo zibazi
Revival TV amagarum wijwire.
Of Christiana created a closed and self-sufficient society that ignored the Danish authority, creating a society where the only norms were 1. Prohibit violence, 2. Prohibit the use of hard drugs, 3. Promote collective property. The community remained isolated during the 90s, but by the 2000s, they began to have conflicts with local gangs trying to introduce Christiana to the drug market. In response to this, the Danish government offered to give the community its protection in exchange for integrating into the country's social democratic system, which would imply 4 things. 1. Subject to all laws and regulations of the Danish state. 2. Open up to the public. 3. Pay taxes and receive public services from the state. 4. Each inhabitant must buy a piece of land and turn it into the private property. On the other hand, some members of the community proposed the temporary suspension of the prohibition of violence with the purpose of arming themselves and directly combating the gang threat. The motion for this round reads: this House, as Christiana, would accept the deal to integrate into the Danish state instead of directly combating the gangs. It's 10:18. Debate will start at 10:33. Good luck. Can the teams move to their rooms? No gadgets, no patrons. I'm so clear on that. Can you move to your room now? Teams, get to your rooms. You have exactly only 5 minutes to move to your rooms. I should find you in your rooms. Can we move? Can you move to your rooms?
aine ahari kunage eshara
akwebembera
utakagizire cyono cyowaza gukora omukasheshe wimukoto mu kitanda ushemere kusimba amaju gawe ukashaba mukama
entanda yizoba
Revival TV amagaro ngwijwire.
Persuasive speech. Mission statement. It is our responsibility. I repeat, persuasive speech. Mission statement. It is our responsibility. Task. Deliver a 4-minute speech. Deliver a 4-minute speech. Deliver a 4-minute speech to the world or any audience of your choice, calling upon everyone to take action and join hands to save the world from climatic changes like global warming. Emphasize unity, action, and collaboration during your speech. Emphasize unity, action, and collaboration during your speech. That is the task for the finals for the junior category. We'll be able to start when the debate teams and the debate judges have gone to their room, because I do not want them to continuously make noise for me, because I demand for maximum attention and silence. The breaks announcement for senior category, speech and poetry, will be after our break tea. For now, all of you should go and prepare for the semi-finals. In case you make it, you be ready. In case you do not make it, you will also be ready to handle the pressure. Thank you very much. Primary category, please prepare. You have 4 minutes. News anchoring, storytelling, we'll see you after lunch for your finals.
My God is bigger, bigger than any of my troubles. My God is bigger, He is bigger. I have a friend indeed, a friend in need, who makes me feel complete. When I'm low, He takes me higher. He takes me higher. Through it all, He makes me stronger. Through the fire, through the storm, I call Him up, I get alive. Through the night and through the day, He's thrones. My God is higher.
Isaac now, gospel music there, Ruben writer, preaching the gospel far. Nokusharura namashemererwa nokushashanuka wa Yesu tariyo kuferwa feno tweyagala enjejere zikacweka n'ebirungi byokka umujunu batari umuferwa owashabahebwa osherura zora owikuza igurwa owa Yesu tubigayanga owacurahurwa necuwe kundwa twena turyabana kandi tasharora. Get down on your bended knees, beg him please, blessings increase. There is abundant peace, say baby, you're stressed, there we just decrease. Namagoba tariolo so weye nokusharura otakaloba leba nakweto weye nokusharura namagoba tariolo so weye nokusharura otakaloba leba nakweto weye nokusharura nitwemara mu byensi hazabambi yo no mushenyi amisha tukahanjo aturagarise amagaragata waho injini twesiga abantu and it ends in tears. Oh aruhangan tears singing hallelujah. Just run to daddy ebizibu byawe bikwase daddy iwe mutere kodi muheleze with your soul and body. Just run to daddy ebizibu byawe bikwase daddy iwe mutere kodi niwe pasi wadi namagoba tariolo so weye nokusharura otakaloba leba nakweto weye nokusharura namagoba tariolo so weye nokusharura otakaloba leba nakweto weye nokusharura namagoba tariolo so weye nokusharura otakaloba leba nakweto weye nokusharura namagoba tariolo so weye nokusharura otakaloba leba nakweto weye nokusharura otakalobiwe otakalobiwe Maria magoboku otakalobiwe 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 Ariyo musinje otakalobiwe.
Revival TV amagaro ngwijwire.
Mwana wanje oyina itaka ryawe noyenda kuruguza obuzibu warugura narukagura itaka ryawe kongo bwa hati noyenda kuruguza aba Amity Realtors Limited beja kucungura nitugura itaka erihangu erya famu entoche ebishayi amaju nagana goyine gona nituguza itaka kutandikira ploti ya futu 50 arigana okugarra ruguru tahireba Amity Realtors Limited abarakwere kugura no kuguza itaka omurubirenge rwizoba yona bashanja Chosiga House Makanising Street room number 55 narotere notu mshanje 55 abrinamnana abrinamnana chenanamnana nan notu
4 minutes to give your speech. Wait for all of us to sit, then you start, okay? our finals, junior category, we have Naturinda Abigail Denise, Coloma Primary School. You have 4 minutes. You can start whenever you're ready.
My name is Natkunda Abigail Denise from Coloma Primary School. Hey, it is very important to buy this tree. Hey, look, this tree is very important to us and to the whole world. This tree has impact on climate change we witness in the society through the following ways. This tree helps in rain formation and in the long run brings you water for life daily use. I cannot imagine your life without water. Secondly, this tree has leaves that absorb carbon dioxide in the environment and in the long run bring out oxygen which you are breathing right now. Sir, I cannot imagine your life without oxygen. So buy this tree and plant it at your home if you want to save the environment. You will save your life, your family's life. I promise. Your life and other people's life depend on this tree. Wouldn't you be happy? Wouldn't you be happy to be a hero and plant this tree and plant this tree while saving the world if you just plant and buy this tree? Thank you.
Please give the little angel a bigger round of applause. It's not easy to have little children give us speeches that are interesting. So let us go to Ayebare Emanuela Mbara Municipal. But before she gets on stage, please allow us to just rearrange the stage again.
My God is bigger, bigger than any of my troubles. My God is bigger, He is bigger. I have a friend indeed, a friend in need, who makes me feel complete. When I'm low, He takes me higher, He takes me higher. Through it all, He makes me strong. Through the fire, through the storm, I call Him up, through the night and through the day, He's still there. Through the fire, through the storm, I call Him up, through the night and through the day, He's still there. My God is bigger, bigger than any of my troubles.
My name is Ayaba Emanuela and I'm from Bara Municipal School. I begin my speech in 3, 2, 1. How much more evidence do we need to prove that climate change is real? Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and fellow stewards of this magnificent planet, today I stand before you not just as a narrator, but as a fellow citizen of our planet. We gather here amidst the vibrant forests, the majestic mountains, and the deep blue oceans, plus the skies that shelter us all. Yet, we must confront a harsh reality. Our home, this magnificent planet, is in peril. Climate change and global warming are not just distant threats. They are urgent crises that demand our immediate attention, collective action, and unwavering commitment. We often hear that we are living on borrowed time, and the clock is ticking. Glaciers are melting, our seas are rising, and extreme weather events have become a heartbreaking norm rather than an expectation. From the wildfires that devastate communities to the hurricanes that uproot lives, the effects of climate change are all around us, and they disproportionately impact the most vulnerable among us. But here is the truth. We have the power to change this narrative. United, we can combat these crises and pave a way for a sustainable future.
The first step in this journey is recognizing that climate change is not merely an environmental issue. It's an economic issue, a humanitarian issue, and a social justice issue. Whatever your background, belief system, or profession, we all share this home and we are all affected by the choices we make. So I call upon each and every one of you today. Join hands with your friends, your neighbors, your communities, and people from around the globe. Because it's time to act, and it's time to act together. Let us reflect on the power of unity. Imagine the impact when 7.9 billion people align their efforts for one common goal. Because, as Kofi Annan once said, we have to work together as a human family to tackle climate change. Picture solar panels on rooftops all around our cities. Wind farms harnessing the power of our breezes, electric vehicles cruising along every street, and sustainable practices woven into the fabric of our lives. These actions are not just possibilities, they are our collective responsibilities. And they start with us right here, right now. But unity is not enough. We need collaboration. We need to engage with governments, businesses, advocates, activists, and communities, creating an ecosystem of innovators and advocates who will work together to create policies that protect our planet. It requires listening and learning from indigenous communities who have been caretakers of the earth for a very long time. It means supporting organizations that put sustainability at the forefront of their operation. It means committing to reducing our carbon footprints, advocating for renewable energy, and pushing for sustainable practices in all aspects of our lives. Let's not forget, as Ban Ki-moon once said, climate change knows no borders, and neither should our solutions. Through international partnerships and agreements, we can share the technology, the resources, the knowledge, which are crucial to addressing this global crisis. The time for sitting and talking is over. We have the technology, the knowledge, the resources, and the resolve. What we need now is action. Because as Emmanuel Macron once said, we are killing planet A even when there is no planet B. Inaction is not an option. Climate change threatens our very existence. But when we unite, when we collaborate, our potential is limitless. Because as Barack Obama once said, we have to work together because we're the first generation to feel the effects of climate change and we're the last generation to do something about it. So I urge you today, step forward and join this global movement for change. Let today's passion ignite the spark within you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Please give her a bigger round of applause for that wonderful speech. All right, we are going into the very last speaker. That is none other than Chitami Nasha Magambo. Please ensure to mention your name and your school. Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Before the judges begin my timer, my name is Nasha, and I'm going to deliver a speech entitled, "It is Our Responsibility." And because it's our responsibility, I call upon my team from Uganda Matters Primary School to stand here with me and show everyone that it is really our responsibility. I begin my speech in 3, 2, 1. Have you ever realized that we have one earth? Ladies and gentlemen, one earth. So why destroy it? Today, I want to tell you a simple story. A few months ago, in my village, something strange happened. The rain that used to fall in November didn't come. Then our crops dried up and we suffered the famine for about 8 months. The river that we used to play near became so shallow that even the frogs left. And my grandmother looked at me and said, "The world is changing." And I asked her, "But why?" She said to me, "Because we have not taken care of it." Friends, the world is crying. The forests are disappearing. The rain is confused. Feel the impact of climate change. And we are the last generation that has something to do about it. If your house was on fire, would you wait for someone else to come and put it out? Or you would run for water? Wouldn't you yell for help? Well, our world is on fire, just like that house. And the time to act is now. Let's do simple but meaningful things, and things that make a difference in our environment. Let's plant trees that fight bad air. Let's stop burning rubbish. And let's use bags that can be reused. Let me say this. If we don't stand together and fight climate change, we all fall together. So why don't we do this now to ensure that our environment protects us? Many people are suffering. Let's have that pity on them. Let's unite and fight for those people and for ourselves. Because as once someone said, that climate is global, which means it affects all of us. So if one of us cares and the other doesn't, what is that to us? Let's teach others to care. Let's unite. Let's not blame. Let's build. Let's not waste time in doing things that don't matter. Let's fight for our future. Let's be together in this fight because we all need each other and we will fight till the end. Everyone, this is our role in our world. This is our world. Let's fight for our world if it's our world, please. Thank you, everyone.
Have a friend indeed, a friend in need, who makes me feel complete. When I'm low, he takes me higher. He takes me higher. Through it all, he makes me stronger. Through the fire, through the storm, I call him up and get alive. Through the night and through the day, he's still there. Through the fire, through the storm, I call him up and get alive. Through the night and through the day, he's still there. My God is bigger, bigger than any of my troubles. My God is bigger, He is bigger. Jamani turamya, leko muroma we kushume. Moyo likwera, nitukwachiro mu manyoku. Jamani turamya, leko muroma we kushume. Twisha omumaisho gawe, tata. Twinejara, twiniruho yawe.
Twana nitwendiwe eshulo yamize nungetoma gikura nyingi zikuru otushuka omoyo wawe
Moyo likwera, nitukwachiro mu manyoku. kwera nitukwakira twaba nituramya reka omurro gwawe gushume
Hallelujah. Hey. We bless your name, God.
kari kushuma
Imbohe zona zirekurwa
shuma
ebishenge bihirime Yeah. Shuma utwijuze ekitimiza cyawe kitujumye
konjumye konjumye kokwenjurejumye nsi konjumye n'omwoyo wawe konjumye konjumye kokwenjurejumye nsi konjumye n'omwoyo wawe konjumye konjumye kokwenjurejumye nsi konjumye n'omwoyo wawe
Helped you, okay, before you start. And be comfortable while you're giving us your poem, okay? All the best. Is that okay?
My name is Ntale Kakonge. My school is Parental Care Nursery and Primary School. I have come here to present a poem entitled Dangers of Fossil Fuel. All this is true. Nothing is a game. None is a joke. The pain in my bones is real. Those who believed I look like a moon cannot believe it anymore. Of course I was. That source of tour, that love of nature. Your smoke sinks, covering my white glow, slowly suffocates me like a woman in birth pangs. This pain in my bones is real. Those who don't laugh, don't smile, cause it's not funny. My reality slips from you. I lose my shape. Though my nature revenge, I don't like it. The floods, the heat is not funny. My reality slips from you. I lose my shape. Though my nature revenge, I don't like it. Floods, the heat. Of course you don't like either. Yes, we don't like it. Stop using fossil fuels. Thank you, everyone.
A bigger round of applause to the little angel. A bigger round of applause. Thank you very much, Lena, for that beautiful poem. We are going to have Mark. We're going to have Mark to blow us away with his piece. Drama King. Are you going to use the podium? You're going to use the free space. All right. You can start whenever you're ready.
My name is Mark Kugumaho. I'm here to present to you a poem about fossil fuel sonnet. In a blink of an eye, I begin my poem. First, we built towers of smoke and agreed. Then, we built an empire of power because it had our shared delight. To fuel our desires, For where earth was the seed? For where earth was the seed? Through cold darkened skies, our dreams took fright. In oil's warm grasp, we launched every need. As flames licked the dawn, blinding and bright, we'll build in progress, too blind to heed. Yet we send whispers of warning, while glaciers wept ice and forests stand bare. Beneath our feet, the earth's heart began to quake. Now we beg, my dear ones, we beg. Let the sun heal our scars. And in finally, we beg, let the scars, let the wind carry our sorry hearts to the stars.
All right, thank you very much for that wonderful poem. I also feel like crying. Anyway, okay. I will not cry. I am a big man. Big men don't cry. I will not cry. I will not cry. At this particular point, we are going to take a break, go for our break tea, and we'll come back to announce the breaks for public speaking and poetry to the semi-finals. And then we are going to have the semi-finals for the secondary category. All right? Immediately after break tea. And then after lunch, all the individual events, storytelling primary category and secondary category, news anchoring primary category and secondary category. And I think that's it. And we will be done. And then we will wait for our finals. If time allows, we're most likely going to have our finals.
Revival TV, amagarum wijwire.